Here's one family story of their road to recovery after sustaining a brain injury.
During the game, the whistle blew, and then a girl kicked the ball and hit Remy the side of the head, and she went down.
My ears started to ring, and then everything felt like it was going in slow motion. It lasted for like a few minutes, because then I went off and sat down, and I still felt a bit weird after.
The next morning, she still wasn't feeling well, so I thought maybe I should take her to the doctor's office because she was dizzy and just not herself and really, really tired.
The tricky part with concussion is that it's invisible. We can't see the injury on the brain, much like we'd be able to see a broken arm or a swollen ankle.
Well, I couldn't go to school for 2 weeks. I could only work on things for so long, and then I'd have to take a break and rest. Otherwise, I got dizzy or got a headache.
Luckily for us, through the Leaside Wildcats, they had an incentive with Holland Bloorview for baseline testing, concussion testing. So we went, I think it was January the year she got the concussion, and we did the baseline testing.
Toes right behind the line.
And what we do with that baseline test is if that child unfortunately goes on and experiences a concussion, we reassess that child on those same tests at a repeated schedule after the injury, and we have something to compare specifically to that individual.
And good.
Just went in every week and kept doing the baseline tests, memory tests and things like that. As I got a better score, I could see myself getting better, which was really reassuring because I wasn't sure how I was going to get better before, and I was kind of getting nervous and stressed out if I was ever going to get better.
Awesome. You're going to stay still as you can, eyes open, staring at that camera. Don't forget to breathe. Okay? You can smile though.
So our role here is to put that smile on kids' faces, but also on the faces of their families, on their parents, their brothers and sisters, and make sure that there's a good recovery, a safe recovery, and that kids are engaged in their lives again. And that's really what we're here to do.
1, stop. Great work.
Now when I play soccer, I get a little scared when I see the ball in the air, and I'm a lot more aware. I'm always looking around and just making sure it doesn't happen again.
Excellent story. And as parents, we want to get our kids out there. We want them to be active.
You do.
What are we doing,
very important.
or what are we not doing now that we should be doing when it comes to protecting our kids from concussions?
The number one thing is baseline testing. You've got to get the kids in for a baseline test. If we don't have a baseline test, we have nothing to compare them to if they possibly do sustain a concussion. And that's the limiting factor that will say, yes, you're ready to go back to play again, or no, you're not.
Yeah.
But if we don't have the baseline, you're flying blind.
What is the baseline test? What would it look like if we were doing it?
So it takes about 40 minutes. You go in, you do a bit of it on a computer, you do reaction time. You saw what she was doing there. You do a balance plate. We're checking a lot of variables that can be affected by concussion, so that if the child or athlete sustains a concussion, we retest those, and we retest them also with exercise so that we know, whether or not they're ready to go back in. The other thing I love about the baseline, so we run the baselines pretty regularly. It's a big education. Okay. It's an education for the kids to say, you know what, if you've hit your head, go tell your coach. Don't think that you can play through it. If your friend has hit their head or somebody didn't see it, because that happens.
Yeah.
Don't keep playing. The main message is get off. When in doubt, sit them out and go get it checked. That's so important. The other piece that's very important is nutrition. Okay. People don't really understand that a concussion has a lot of chemical components to the injury. It's not as much a physical injury. So if you sustain a concussion and you drink a bunch of sugar after, which lots of these sports drinks have, your recovery time can actually be longer. So you need to go see someone, you need to get checked out, and then you need to get on a good nutrition plan with lots of healthy fats and anti-inflammatory things to help you heal better. So there's checklists. There's apps on your phone that you can get right now that are post-concussion that will tell you what to do the next day, the day after that. They'll help you screen for post-concussion. There's amazing resources out there. You just got to get involved in these programs. and get to the resources as opposed to kind of flying blind as a parent. And as a parent, if you're a downhill skier or doing something that is also risky, you should get a baseline done too.
So baseline test for anything that you think might end in a
Anything that's
concussion. So
risk.
we're talking about hockey, it could be soccer, it could be downhill
Rugby,
skiing, rugby.
could be lacrosse, really any
Where do they
sport.
go for this test? Go to the doctor?
No.
Physiotherapist?
So, yes. So there's designated centers around the city. So Holland Bloorview is one. We do it at Totem. There's many centers, but you have to check and make sure that they're certified, that they do the testing, and that they're there to support you after the testing too.
Really good. Good info. Thank you.